Peace to the chosen ones, man. Peace to the woken. And peace to the ones who watch these videos, family. Because you are watching me for a reason, y'all. And I don't want y'all to get caught up in the glow or the physical appearance, man, Because then, if you're caught up in it for too much, family, you might not get the information. So, today I just want to let y'all know that for you who may be watching, man, and you are in school, man, will just know that it is summertime, or it is a time for you to get yourself right, You need to get yourself inadequate with bread, with anything that's gonna help you, because people, they don't really care. Yeah, they might tell you they care with a smile to your face, but actions really prove more than than what's simple, And I'm not gonna say ignorance, but nostalgia, Nostalgia can easily, hold you down if you let it, family. That's what I say. You want to be someone who embraces the pain, silence, because it's for you. When it's for you, you can stay silent all fucking long because it don't matter to anybody else. It's not about them, yo. It's about you, because what are they doing to help you? Nothing. That's why I say, family, worry about yourself, man. You want to focus on you, because nobody else gives a fuck about you, family. You know what I'm saying? And I tell this because most people struggle, but that's your fault, if you choose to. It's all about how you live, man, Now, most people want to impress things. That's up to you, but you're limiting yourself, man, for other people, man, and that's why you don't have it all. Because to fulfill yourself is to not live for nobody else, man. You want to live at your highest, man, because it makes you feel good. It might hurt the others because they can't be around you, but fuck them, because at the end of the day, it's for you. You want to feel good, because if you don't feel good, well then how can you get other people to have a good day about themselves, man, if you ain't even putting good energy out into the world, But to make sense, family, is to know that I just get on the camera, y'all, and let y'all know that, I'ma always hold it down, y'all. It's just I'm not gonna be as consistent as as every single day as I can, y'all, because everybody has things to do in their life, But these videos are here to remind you that you have a glow in you as well, That light you walk with, that is how should I say it? Igniting or anemic. It's something that outcasts anything, man. That's because God has showed you that, time and time again, and you grew from those problems that He put you in. You never folded. He tested you, and He's still testing you, family, to this day. But as long as you overcome it, nothing can block you. Because remember, family, you have a yes or a no to every single thing that's in front of you. So that means that you can do the right thing or you can do the bad things. But that's you, To protect your mind. Because people will follow you, man. Or they gonna try to get in your way, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they cannot figure you out, family, So just, living your life, man. Because if you don't live for you, family, well then, remember, you're gonna live for them. And to vibe high out here, y'all, is to vibrate so high, because that's the only way a positive reality is gonna find you. You know what I'm saying? People want to be like, or they want to, act like it, but you can't fake something that is authentic. You know what I'm saying, family? Just like if I was to turn this light off, y'all, you can't say that it's on, because, reality's in front of you, man, and the light is simply off as you see it to be. That's like saying that there's something there, but it's not. That's pretty much me telling your family that even though you have a light in you, man, you can't walk around with the light if you don't even have your light active, man, because people are gonna see through you, man. You know, they don't fuck with like things that don't excite them or light their day up because they feel like they are better than everything. And that could be you, family, if you aren't healed, man. That's why I tell y'all to heal so you can feel okay. When you are healed, you just want to heal others. But you can't heal others, man, if you don't heal yourself, man, because then you're gonna let others or what they say press you, man. And you will never be a true healer if you let words get to you, man. Because yes, the tongue is all knowing and can, hurt you, but that's only if you allow to. You know what I'm saying? You can say no to things or you don't have to fuck with nothing because that's you. But I get on this camera to say that, you know, summertime is now, but it's your summer. So what are you gonna do with it, family? I'm not gonna say that the money's all knowing, but it is because it helps you around in this world, man. It helps you move or it helps you get things, to enjoy this life or this fantasy that you may see it to be, because at the end of the day, not everybody sees life to be. So I just want to tell you, family, that for my people who are in school that may or may not watch me, whether you're in college, whether or not you're in high school or elementary, just know that this is time for you, man, to build yourself in that darkness, man, and get used to who you need to become, man, and who you shall, be. Because people don't mess with light. People don't respect the light. So respect yourself first, man. And you gonna be everything to inspire others, man, because they can't grasp who and what you have become, man. Because if you are silent, y'all, you can't test silence, you know what I'm saying? Because silence is not reactive. So no matter what you do, y'all, it's not gonna face someone else. And when you become like that, y'all, you will have everything you need because remember, y'all, it's not about, showing off or being the loudest, man. It's about being you, man, at the end of the day, y'all, because people are always gonna hate or they gonna try to be like you, man, because they simply can't, man. And that's because your energy gives them that aura or that, that feeling to be themselves, man. I'm gonna tell you one thing, family, just be you and never chase the next person, y'all, because a lot of people out here, y'all, they want to be you or they want to be like you or be with you, but you don't want to be with no one because, man, all you need is yourself, dog. To be honest, all you need is self, man. Self-mastery, y'all. Remember, if no one tells you that, I'm gonna tell you that because that's all you gotta do is master yourself, man. Once you master yourself, y'all, you don't need nobody else, man, because those are problems that you take on if you choose to take them with you. People who are heartbroken or have problems is because they choose to latch on to those emotions, man. But you are limiting yourself because you are attached to emotion. You must have emotional content, secure, man. And so you be fine when you are, man. Because when you are needy, man, people don't fuck with that. They feel like you are weird, or they feel that it's you, or a being of chaos and lustfulness, but not necessarily that you're a bad person. It's just you're an electrical being, man. So that's what they pick up from you, man, because your body is sending out these frequencies or your enzymes and everything that's bubbling together, y'all, is producing that kind of flow. and it's just not gonna fit right with certain people, man. That's why I say, man, if you are a light, y'all, you want to be a light because the light helps you, family. The light don't help, necessarily other people. Yeah, it might inspire them, or they might want to be around you, but just because you're on this journey doesn't mean the next person is gonna see you and be like, oh, let me get on that hoe. Nah, because one, they don't know what it is you are doing, and they don't know why you are glowing. But they are attracted to that light because they see perfection, or they sense it, and it's God's creation, and it's really showing you who you are if you, believe in yourself enough, man, So the key is simply given to you, man. It's just you want to turn this motherfucker on, man, because if you don't, man, it's not you that's holding you back. It's just everything you want that you see that you will never be able to grab. It's constantly waiting for you, man, because you're the action taker, man. You have the ability to move, and the shit you want it's moving and motion because of everything that's what makes it up, but it can't move physically, y'all, because it remains as a solid, That's why you must take action, or it's gonna always pass you by, whether that's money, if you want to call, a job, or just something, man, that's gonna help you, because people don't want somebody that's winning if they're not winning, So that's all I want to let y'all know, family. If you want to become a light to help these people that are in the dark, man, and it's not that you're helping them by forcing them to wake up, but that light that you have is it's like the sun. So if they see the sun, it feels like a perfect day for them. You know what I'm saying, family? If that makes sense. And that's because you were the chosen one. And it's not that you are chosen, it's just you chose to make a difference, man. So you're not like nobody, But yeah, family, I hope y'all resonate with this. I'm not giving y'all no cosmic intellect now because, I'm bringing y'all these videos as I'm slowly starting to come back, But silence is never a bad thing, man. You just gotta take time and give yourself energy, man. Because even when I help y'all and I put my energy out to the world, I also gotta take in energy, y'all, to even give y'all this. Because I would never even have this energy if I didn't have energy within me, So that means protect your mind. And if you don't, well, then your mind's gonna be controlled, family, And that's a bad thing because if you're not living the way you want to live, y'all, well, then the scary thing is you are being controlled by another entity within you, It's like the movie Get Out, y'all. You know what I'm saying, family? Peep how dude was, unaware of his situation, But still, family, people around him were being controlled because that's just the way life is, man. And you will never get it if you don't have your third eye open because you are stuck at your lowest self, man. And if you are there, you will be in fear. You will be still, which means you will be stuck and confused and too frightened to move, When you're at your highest, y'all, you're no longer bound by that because even if you have a little bit of fear, you're going to still move with action, man, because your energy is going to force you to either get up or you're going to lose it all, And I don't think you want to be someone that is nothing, Most people in this world, y'all, are champions because they became a champion, And all a champion truly is, y'all, someone that's wanting to be a champ, Champ is not having a belt, man. It's being somebody that you see yourself as who has great potential, man, Yo, see people, y'all, no matter on what media or app, is be consistent. Stay to it. That's all you gotta do, family. And not worry about nobody, y'all, because this is your channel, man. This is your life. So if you're waiting, y'all, you will never get anything because then again, family, I'm telling y'all, life only happens when you choose to start living your life the way you see it, family. You know, I make videos, but I don't push them out every day. When I can, I will. But if I can't, I'm going to build my energy up. And I'm going to move in silence, y'all. Because I know my worth, and I don't have to prove it to nobody. And I don't want to prove it to nobody, y'all. Because why should you feel like you have to, you know? Well, if you are truly of value, man, you're going to stay still and become more valuable, you know? You don't want nobody to see how valuable you really are. Yeah, you're going to give people, you know, you're going to show compassion to others, man, and you might like a picture or maybe, you know, send them good luck on a long day journey. But, you know, you're going to have your own things. But that's even better if you do, you know, show someone interest or just give them something positive about their life, yeah, because then you spark curiosity and good luck into their brain, man. So if they feel down, you helping them without even saying anything, you know, because you don't have to say nothing, yo. All you gotta do is have energy and speak positive things about you, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, family, I give y'all these videos because I'm a inspirational, you know, a creator, man. I'm a creator no matter what, and you are too, because you create life, man. Life created us, but we created life, you know, because we're the ones that have the power to bring life here, you know. Y'all let that shit fly y'all heads by, because think about it, y'all. Most people in this world, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all 90% of this generation or this whole world, y'all, is controlled because of what has been shown to them, right? But not what they have been taught, y'all. Remember, when someone tells you something, you know, you whether or not don't know to believe it unless you choose to, you know. But that's for you know what I'm saying, family? But if it was within you the whole time, y'all, you're naturally gonna pick up on that information because it is for you know what I'm saying, y'all? That's what I'm saying, y'all. What's real is gonna come your way regardless, man. You just gotta be authentic, man, and can't let nobody, you know, make a fool or try to feel like you are them when you are not them, because you will never be them, you know what I'm saying, y'all? I repeat, you will never be like someone who is in the shadows, man, because they haven't mastered becoming the shadow or becoming like Noob, Cyber, you know what I'm saying, y'all? Which is becoming one with your other side, man, because you don't have the willpower to become what it is you want to. And if you don't, something's holding you back, and it's emotional content, you know? And that's why I tell y'all, man, relationships don't work in this day and age because most people are latched onto that fucking ego, man. You know, you must crush that hole. And if you can never crush it, y'all, you will never live life perfectly for even yourself, man, because you're never gonna love you enough, man, you know? If you love you, y'all, you're not gonna care about others, man. You're just gonna love you and wait or just be until something is for you, man. And you'll know that. But I'm just telling y'all, family, because not everybody will see you, but they will, you know, stalk, or they will try to, you know, be like you. But when I say they won't see you, y'all, they won't see, you know, your journey, man. Like yes, they see you putting in the work, but they ain't gonna see where you're going, y'all. Because remember, if they did, or if they seen something within them, they would become something. Because that's just who they are as a person, man. Charisma, charismatic energy, you know. That's why I say, man, remember that you are the creator, man. And that no matter what happens, if something leaves you, or if you left something, man, you have the power to make anything, because you are a creator, man, you know. And there's no other way around that, family. You're a creator, man, and that should empower you, man, because most people treat you like shit if you don't have anything, or if you don't want to be anything. Because if you were something, man, that's because you were motivated by something or someone. People who don't have anything or don't do anything, y'all, life has failed them because they no longer want to want to try, you know, they're just simply existing until life, you know, fades them away, man, if you want to say that. But I just want to tell y'all, man, energy vampires and everything around you, man, that's just here to remind you that you are light and you are doing the right thing. But I'm just here to tell you that you want to be something, because if you're not, well then it's only gonna make you feel less than, man, you know. Money's coming regardless, whether or not, I mean, I'm not gonna say whether or not you do something or not, but the money's gonna come whatever it is you choose to do. But you gotta focus first, though, because if you don't focus, that money's never coming, man, you know. And I say the money because money's for you, you know. But you know, one day this will hit your soul differently, man, because it was never about the money. It was just about your chakras inside of you, man, and them energies that have been blocked off from you, man, from self. And that's why you don't feel for others, man, or you don't even love yourself enough, because I'm trying to tell y'all, man, this shit is real, you know. And it's only real if you want it to be real, you know, because you create your reality, man. The person who watches me, that's why I have things, because I created my reality, y'all. You know, smoking, you know, having phones, y'all. It doesn't matter what it is, y'all. We all have something, but we have it because, you know, we manifested it, you know. Being in this car was a manifestation. Everything was a thought. And me making this video wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my thoughts, man. So that's what I'm telling y'all, family. This video was really staying into the present moment, but I really came out here to let y'all know that if it's summertime, you know, take advantage of that time that you have away, because even though time ain't real, y'all, it's enough time for you to find self, man, because you're not gonna be around nobody for a while if, you know, you're in a situation of peace, man, you know. And for my people who are out here, you know, trying to find lovers or something for summer, man, you know, well, I'm gonna tell you this, you know, don't go chasing it. All you want to do is, you know, exist, live, or go out anywhere on a positive vibration. And when the right person comes your way, you will know, because they're gonna show you they want to be in your life, man. You're not gonna see a shadow walking past you and you won't feel forced to say hi, because it's in your soul. You'll know what's for you, you know. That's why I say, man, a vibration is power, man, because if you know how to vibrate, well, then you can vibrate high or low, right? Now, guess this, family. When you vibrate high, the power's in your core, because people who vibrate low are not going to no longer want to be around you. So you easily push entities or negative beings around you just because of your simpleness or your purity, man. You being pure or having this pure aura around you, man, is keeping you composed, man, and protected by the dark forces that run the world, man. You know, spiritual attacks, man. You know, someone might want to kill you, but they ain't gonna end up killing you, because, you know, you got powerful angelic forces at your aid, man, because they see you trying and protecting your vessel alone, you know. So of course they gonna ride it out with you. So with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. You know, I simply motivated y'all to come and you know, maybe go get some money or just try to get anything you want. Whether, you know, you want this female, or, you know, you just want to get a house, or you just want a job, man. It's your time, man, because you're not in school right now. So you have the opportunity to go get it on your own, man. You know, if you apply for jobs, y'all, it's never an L, because you're trying, you know, you want that money. So be yourself, man, and stop being, you know, less, because that's why you have less, you know, family. You might not pull 9s or 10s, y'all, because you're not operating at a 9 or 10 yourself, man, you know. And when I say that, y'all, you gotta be a person of wisdom, a body that's intact. You want to have the glow that gives you everything you need, which is the energy, the will, and really no fear, y'all. Because if you're someone that's just gonna act, well, then you don't gotta think twice about anything, y'all. You know. But I just tell y'all, family, this is your life, man. I'm only here to help you on your decisions, man. But you gotta make that decision, man. And you gotta make the right one for you, because this is your life, man. You know? So just think about that, family. You know? I know it might seem hard for you, or maybe for the situation you're in, y'all. But I promise you right now, I've been through the fire. I've, been in the barbecue pit, and I have been to the part of ash. I have felt stone faced on the floor by just life in general, man. Say you pray and you wish, or you live like you have it all, but each day, something worse and worse maybe even happens, and once you're used to days like that, you just force yourself to become a person of present, because you can't change the fact of what life's gonna throw at you, man. People get and they or gain things by how life, is treated for them and how they treat life, y'all. But the only thing I can tell you, family, is that you can move, but you gotta have the energy, family. You can't be addicted to nothing, man. You don't want women to stop you, man. I'm not saying you can't fuck hoes, yes. Fuck any girl you want. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Make sure, you're connected as one with that being, man. Or you're not gonna feel nothing for her. You're just gonna feel fucked up in the head because you wasted energy, man. Or, you wasted time. And now they throwing you their problems, man, because, energy is nothing more addicting. There's nothing more addicting in this universe than energy. And let me repeat that to you in the back, man. There's nothing more addicting in this world. Not weed, nothing. Because people who have lost somebody would die for the next person or for their loved ones they come back here, right? Yes, they would. And that's loyalty, right? But I'm only telling y'all that because, that's us, man. We feel for the things that are no longer here no more. That's why you must upgrade your life in the silence or in the darkness, man, because you don't got to show yourself up to the world for no one, You are you, family. And people are going to talk about you whether they want to or not, so I wouldn't care. I'll just keep making the income, the content, and I'm going to keep stepping on next, y'all, because I'm inspiring the next that have been snapped to maybe, stand up right again and get everything they want, y'all. This takes no money, being on a camera and giving your perspective on life, y'all, because you are a powerful being, man. You don't need nothing outside of you. All you need is enough energy around you to protect your etheric field, man. So no gun or no velocity of penetration can damage you from the outside, man. Because if you are protected within, y'all, well, then everything you see without of you is going to be dictated on how you see life within, which means it's going to be peaceful and everything's not going to be so clogged up. You're not going to be worried about fear. You're only going to see positive things, man. And the people who are negative and say they have killings and all that shit on their mind, they're not going to ever enter or be around you, because you're on two different frequencies. They ain't gonna be able to even want to be around you, or they can't, because your heart, or you're acting out of your heart chakra, man. And most people, they are stuck on that root, which is that red one, and they are in that fear, man. So they only act on survival, or someone they feel like it's up on them, they gonna blast you, So that's why I say, family, mind your business, man, and only talk to the ones that want your energy, man. Heal them. And watch your whole world, hit around you, man, because it only takes one of us, man. That's why, if they say 144 people chose to come down here, right? Remember, it just takes one of us, man, because one of us has the power to attract everybody else to become that one or that wholesome, man, because no matter what, even if people do see, jealousy in you, they are still gonna, find you very attractive and are going to try to be like you in a way. The only thing that's not going to mimic you is your energy, man. So they could do anything like you. They can get your hair cut, they can wear you, or they can dress and try to walk like you, but they will never have your energy to mimic you, man, because God made you specifically differently from everybody else, man, so others can know how you are, man. That's your power, man. That's my power, y'all. But I can never ever share my divinity or give y'all the full insight on who it is and what it is that I know, because the ancestors blessed this or bestowed this and gave it to me. So I, maturely, humbly, and heartfully, feelingly too, chose to bestow it upon y'all, because what's for me is always for the ones that are like me, man, and are trying to be like me, which is finding peace, enlightenment, and self-elevation, man. Not for anyone else or to make them jealous, but to live a better life, man, because if you're always in that fire, y'all, man, you'll eventually gotta rise one day. I told y'all I've been in that ash. I had to rise from the ashes like the phoenix, man. I had to rise, y'all, and it didn't take one day. It took many, many heart-filling pain, and it took a lot of drama, a lot of arguing, and it took a lot of chaos for me to realize that this shit ain't get me nowhere. So I had to focus on cutting that shit off or not even interacting with it, man, because that energy is just serving me no purpose when it could just be in me, flowing and helping me instead of leading me to death faster, y'all. But for those who feel me, man, I'm gonna end this video right here, and I want y'all to know that life is gonna move when you move, like the water, man. The water will always flow, man, but the water will always crash if you fuck with it, man. Remember, don't ever let nothing fuck with you, man. Crash when you choose to, not when someone tells you to or forces it upon you, because you want to move uncontrollable, silently, not deadly, but you want to be a person that doesn't really need anything from no one, y'all. Because if you have a light, people are gonna find you attractive. It's not that you're not gonna find them attractive. You just look at everyone like, man. And this is me, y'all. I can't say it for anyone else, but for me, y'all, I'm not gonna say I'm better than anyone. No, how I see others is myself, because I used to live at a lower point in my life, y'all. But I simply move with quietness and humbleness, y'all, because if everybody ain't feeling like you, y'all, you don't want to be someone that's too excited or showing your energy off too much, then, because people gonna have something to say about you regardless, y'all. You rather inspire them with you just being, man, so they can feel like, why the fuck, is he attracted to me, or am I gravitating toward him, or females are like magnets to you, y'all. Because remember, y'all, you are a plant. You just became and chose stillness instead of being in motion with the wind, y'all. You chose to just stay planted, and the more you stay grounded, y'all, the more you rise. That's why trees grow, and that's why everything sprouts, man. That will be you when you no longer move for others but yourself, man. Because remember, y'all, the ones with the light are the walking statues of today's society, man. We're the celebrities, or the luminous beings that can't be perceived, y'all, because we don't need money, we don't need spotlight, we don't need fame, interactions, or altercations to simply gain a spotlight or simply attraction. No, you walk outside, or you go to the mall, y'all, that's all around you, man. And they don't gotta look at you, but you're gonna attract a whole crowd, y'all, because it all happens subconsciously, man, because they souls forcing it upon them, because that higher self in them is trying to activate. It can't fully take over, y'all, because their body hasn't metamorphosed, and they haven't went within to cleanse everything. But one day, y'all, it will appear in front of you, man. And I'm just here to warn you, man. How God was warning everybody, y'all. You just want to be that one person that's gonna warn the pack, man. I gotta be telling y'all, man, what the truth is, man, because even if you might not believe it, y'all, well, when this shit occurs, or it's to be, don't watch this video and say you never did, because you have the chance to move, man. But I'll see you on the next video, man. I love y'all. Ashe, man. It's one.